Is it possible to use data to drive KPIs when it comes to multi-plant manufacturing? Well, that's what we're going to be looking at today in the Data Radio Show. Hello there, and welcome to this episode of the Data Radio Show. I'm your host, Paul. This week, we're going to be taking a look at some of the stuff that we did earlier on in April 2025. There was an event in Melbourne, Australia, where there was a group of people from both Ignition and from ScaleFree joining together to talk about what it is that they do and how you can use data to drive different outcomes. And the team from ScaleFree brought in a presentation looking at how you could optimize multi-plant manufacturing quality by using data-driven KPIs, or key performance indicators. Over the next few weeks, we're going to take a look at different parts of that presentation for those that couldn't make it there, and this video, the presentation itself, is available on our YouTube page as a standalone if you want to watch that without the bits of me talking. But before we get there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can get updates from the channel, or like the video, or even share the video and tell people what you learned from it. So I'm going to hand over to Lorenz and Tim, who were the team from ScaleFree that gave the presentation, and let's learn a little bit more about optimizing multi-plant manufacturing quality with data-driven KPIs.
Yes. So as I said, the first one is about the manufacturing business, and essentially they had a big issue with getting all their data out of their manufacturing plants, and they wanted to optimizing their multi-plant manufacturing to quality data-driven KPIs. And essentially, the client, as Christoph already mentioned, in Germany, a lot of companies they are in business for a really long time. This client as well. I think most of the clients we talk about today so they are in business already for 135 years, probably a little bit more. And they mainly do technology innovation, but in production business. So they produce all kinds of goods in mobility, industrial goods, consumer goods, and also in building technologies. They have about 400,000, 430,000 employees. Maybe that number changed a little bit. This project is already some time ago. A really big corporation. And they operate in over 60 countries in the world. And they had a really big problem. And essentially, the biggest problem was that they couldn't unify their monitoring solutions for their manufacturing processes. So all the different manufacturing plants that they had across different countries as well, they started to produce a lot of data. Nowadays, machine data, they produce a lot of machine data in the end, so transaction data, and they couldn't implement these or collect all this data that they essentially produce because a lot of their systems were also outdated. So the biggest problem was that the data was siloed. So they did some analysis, but across multiple plants was not really possible. So they looked for some solutions there. Another problem that they had was it was really static. Their reporting, they only worked for certain areas and they couldn't bring change in so quickly. Also, they had poor performance, and let me show the last one as well. So they had poor performance in their reports because the data warehouse and everything they had implemented was really old and there needed to be some changes. And feature development was really, really slow. So essentially, if the manufacturing plant wanted to have something new, they needed to wait a long time to get it from IT, and they had some big problems to get reports out in the end. So what we did was in the end to introduce real-time data streaming for them and to build up a new data platform. And this we did on Oracle with Dataware 2.0 as the core. And then we had CDC data that we streamed with Kafka streams from the different manufacturing plants into the core data warehouse, which we built up with Dataware 2.0. And in the end, they had some different reporting tools. They used Power BI, Tableau, still some Excel, always the case. You can't get this out. But this was in the end our solution for the client. The biggest part was the real-time streaming that we did with Kafka. So you get JSON files out, flatten them, and directly stream it into the raw world. What were the results for the client? So first, they had integrated data warehouse across all their data. Built with Dataware 2.0 in the middle on Oracle. Then they had agility and also better performance. The biggest part was agility as well, because they could produce reports much quicker now, and also share them with different plans and compare the results that they get.
Hey, I want to thank Lorenz and Tim for their presentation and everybody who was actually involved at that event in Melbourne. It was a really fascinating one to sit down and have a listen to. There was so much information there. That's one of the reasons why we're drip feeding it, because it's a lot to take in all at once. But there's a whole bunch of content that will be available online for people to be able to access, and you can also learn more about it over in places like our school classroom, which is linked down in the description below. Until next time, look after yourself, live long, prosper, be one with the force, and I will catch you guys all next time.